The following segment is sponsored by Smith Injury Law and 300hurt.com.
You never want to imagine being in a car accident, but it's always smart to know how you will react if it happens. Legally, one of the best things you can do after a crash is preserve the evidence on that scene. Richard Smith of Smith Injury Law is here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Marty.
At Smith Injury Law, you go above and beyond to make sure nothing is lost, and a quick response is important in every step, right?
Definitely, very important. In any type of complex case where liability might be an issue or you have to preserve evidence, I've had several cases where I've literally got off the phone with a client, immediately called an expert, and had the expert come out to the scene either the same day or the next day to gather evidence and do a report, because if you don't act quickly, sometimes the evidence is lost.
Yeah, and not every attorney provides that service right away, but you do. Give us some insight about what the accident reconstruction expert is wanting to document after a collision happens.
Well, sometimes there's a debate over speed and impact, for example. They can, if you have a newer model vehicle, they can go connect to the black box of your car, determine exactly the speed you were going when the impact occurred. They also can measure skid marks, do calculations, determine those kind of issues. They can also take measurements based upon the impact damage to the vehicle and determine speed. A lot of these issues, once the car is taken in total or taken off and made into a small little metal box, like happens sometimes, you can't go back and get that evidence then. So you have to get the evidence before the car is taken off to the salvage yard. And also, sometimes you have tree cases, other kind of things where there's a piece of evidence that's there that if you don't get to it, it's going to be hauled off either to a salvage yard as a vehicle, or if it's a tree or something that caused the accident, maybe it's going to be taken off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one example. There's a lot of evidence out there that if you don't collect it immediately, it gets gone. And once it's gone, so is your case oftentimes.
Yeah, and any piece of evidence can make a difference. It takes a highly trained eye to figure out what exactly that is and get it all. In some states, you're told to move the vehicle out of the road when possible, but you don't like to see that happen until a police officer arrives, right?
Well, I'm not a big favor of doing that, but if you need to do that, just take plenty of pictures before the vehicles are moved. Take pictures of where the impact was, where they're positioned, and then if you have to move the vehicles, move the vehicles. But you don't want to be in a situation where I've had cases like this before where the driver actually admits fault to my client, then the parents arrive or somebody else arrives and say, stop talking, and then they've already moved the vehicles and the police get there, and the police then can't determine who's at fault because the vehicles were moved and both sides are saying something else happened. So you just can't trust the other person. Unfortunately, we're no longer in the age where you can trust what somebody tells you. If it's not in writing, not on video, then somebody's word, you can't trust them.
Yeah, so cover your bases on that account. A lot of times, if there's no injury, people will think, yeah, we'll just have the insurance companies sort it out. But what does somebody need, and when do they need an attorney? Is that anytime there's an injury?
Yeah, I would say anytime there's an injury, because the insurance companies, they don't work for you. They're going to pay you the least amount they possibly can. And you want to make sure that you get the most you can for your settlement, because it's the only chance you're going to get. Once your case is settled, you sign the release for the covenant not to execute, your case is forever gone. So you cannot come back later and say, I thought I was only hurt this bad, but now I need surgery. I want to open up my case. That doesn't happen. Once you settle the case itself.
No. Collisions are just one area of your practice at Smith Injury Law. So tell us about your specialties and how you serve the community.
Well, we work for umbilical accident cases, obviously, workers' compensation claims, Social Security disability claims, anything involving an injury, typically. We also, like I said, we take cases that require litigation sometimes, that require experts in developing the case properly. We also take small cases. We basically take, anytime anybody has a case, we will look at it. And there is no such thing as a bad case if it's properly managed. Now, if we talk to somebody and it's not a good case, we'll let you know that. It won't take the case, or we will release the client at no charge to them. So there's no reason not to call us and at least let us talk to you, decide whether you have a case or not. And we oftentimes get calls every day of cases that we don't take. So it's not a matter of being afraid to call us. And we don't charge for any kind of telephone consultation. You can call us anytime if you have an injury claim. Now, we don't handle cases like family court matters, criminal cases, bankruptcy, and tax cases. We don't have those kind of cases. Call somebody else. But if you have a case involving an injury, call us.
Okay, excellent. Then it's worth a phone call just to find out where you might stand. Call 864-300-HURT to contact Richard Smith or visit 300hurt.com. Richard Smith of Smith Injury Law, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Now, time for Fox Carolina weather. Weather Rate's certified most accurate local forecast.